Hi, in this video, we will do a deep dive into Log Mediator in WSO2 MI. Before we start, if you haven't seen my previous video on mediators, I would highly recommend to check out the same before this tutorial. Let's get started. Here is the quick agenda. In this video, we will see about Log Mediator and its importance, its working mechanism, and will conclude with some logging configuration in old versus new MI version, followed by a demo. So what's a log mediator? A log mediator enables the logging of messages as they flow through mediation sequences. It helps in debugging and tracking messages by printing the message content, variables, properties, and other relevant information to the console or a log file. It can be added at any point of time in the flow. Logs are written into WSO2 Carbon log file, and the key objective of using the log mediator remains debugging, monitoring, auditing, and the production support. So why it's important? In real-world integrations, there are n number of systems communicate with each other for sharing the data, and the failure happens. It may be due to the transformation issue, due to API call failure issue, or even maybe due to the connectivity failure from a data source. Logging helps to identify where the issue has occurred. It's a backbone for troubleshooting, and in absence of logging, the troubleshooting is really difficult. How does this work actually? When a client sends a request to an integration endpoint, it is received by an API proxy service. The log mediator captures the details and writes the logs to the server log file, which is your WSO2 carbon.log file. The message continues to the flow after writing the logs. This is something we call synchronous logging. We can also implement asynchronous logging as per our requirements. Logging configuration in old version looks like this. Here we define the log level, and messages are typically printed via the property mediator. Log level includes full, simple, header, and custom. Now let's see what's there in the new version. We have to define a log category, the separator followed by the two options, printing the full payload and printing the message ID. Log categories are info, trace, debug, warn, error, and fatal. Now we have a new element where we write out message with a static value or through expressions. If we see via GUI in VS Code through the log mediator edit option, we have an additional parameters option. This is used to specify the key value pairs to be logged. You can use the add parameter option to add a new parameter with name and a value, and this is actually goes via the property mediator inside the log. We have parameter separator used for separating the values in the log message while printing, and the default remains comma. That is, after comma the log values will be printed. Now let's see some of the examples. So this example shows a message template example. Here we use the message template for printing the messages, where we create a template and ingest the values dynamically through expressions at appropriate place. Now in second example, it shows how to print a message ID. There is a simple checkbox option. If we check that, it enables the true and it appends the message ID into the log. Finally, this example shows printing the parameters from the request payload, the query parameter, the variables into the log file. Now let's see what's all we are going to cover in our demo. We'll set up the default payload in the log mediator with sample values over here. We'll print the logs via the old logger as well as the new one. We'll see the difference accordingly, and we'll print the specific element of the payload to include the message ID and the payload using the UI option. So we've started our Visual Studio Code, and we'll click on Get Started to create a new project. We'll give a project name as Logging Project Demo. We'll select the project path. We'll open the folder. Optionally, if you would like to change the version, we can do so, but for now we'll continue with this version. The project is being created in the background with relevant artifacts. So we'll wait for a while till the canvas is getting loaded properly. It might also ask to reload the window. So we'll do the same for now. Okay, so the project has been created and artifacts are being loaded. And now we'll be going to create a new API. The API name would be the logging API. So it's a REST based API. Okay, so we'll click on create option. By default, we have a get resource. We'll click on add resource with the post resource with the path log. We'll remove that get resource for now. Next, we'll set up a default payload over here. I will add a request body and add it and save it. Next step is to add a log mediator. We'll add a message over here using the expressions. For now, we'll take the complete payload for this particular log mediator. We'll add the optional description over here so that we can identify what's the purpose of this particular logger. We'll save it and we'll go to the source view where we'll add the log mediator using the old configuration. So this is the new one and this is the old one which we'll add over there. We'll just save it and we need to refresh the resource view actually. Okay, so now we have this old logger as well as the new logger. You can see the deprecation messages over here, but we'll ignore for now and we'll run the project. The build is successful and we'll grab the payload for testing the API. Try it out and we'll put up the payload over there and execute. So you can see the message on the top which is of a new logger and down the line we have the old logger. Okay, so this part is completed. Now we'll move to adding a new logger. And we'll have to put some message over here where we'll grab the user info. So this message contains getting the user details payload.user. We'll add optional description over here. Okay, we'll save and run this project and we'll see how the messages are printed over there. Okay, so the build is successful. We'll quickly grab the payload. Right. And execute. Okay, so now we have this log which is printing the user info only. Instead of the complete payload, we are getting the user details. Now quickly, we'll see the couple of configurations to append the message ID as well as the complete payload for this particular logger. Okay, we'll just click on the check option, append message ID, append payload, and update this configuration. Cool. So now we'll run this project quickly. Meanwhile, we can see this configuration has been enabled to over here in the XML file as well. So let's run the project and test the API. We'll grab the payload again, try it, and execute. Okay, so finally we can see that this is printing the message ID, including the correlation ID and the complete payload. And this is printed after the original message which we have printed using the logger. So that's all for this particular demo, and we'll see you in the next demo.